All
This is
right,
how
so
I
you've
plan to play Edward.
entered. I'm looking at the top right now.
Alright, that's the portal.
Yeah.
What, there's like
So there's
over here's
some
like mountains.
there's forest standing be in front of you.
Hold on. We have the things. Uh, that's like right here.
Yeah, I mean you're standing at the edge of this forest, and it's not much of a forest. It's more just dry, dead logs and such like, in front of you.
Yeah. Well, this is just like there.
Behind you is a large outcropping of rocks that appears to be cliffs, and on the other side of the cliff is a large source of inky, oozy water that goes
We
as
have
far
a.
as the eye can see.
I don't think we have a water. Yeah, we don't have a water thing, but that's okay. We know it's back there.
Where's the water at?
Behind the. Back here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, like that.
gonna do that real quick.
We're so good at drawing water, guys.
Let's see. Let's do this real quick.
Way bigger than I thought it would be. I love it. Edward's
All
excited.
right.
Ah, we're being.
I moved you a little bit so you have a little more room. So you
Edward's
guys have
excited.
entered into this plane, and the smell is starting to fade a little bit. It's almost attracting, but you can also sense death. It doesn't smell revolting. It smells kind of sweet, kind of like a nectar. The fog and the mist is ever changing. You feel like you may see some shapes, but it's so thick and dark, it's hard to really tell. And so before you, for quite a distance, you see nothing but a dead forest. So while you guys ponder your situation, Terrace, tell us how you're feeling right now. What is this place making you feel like?
Quite horrified. Like I'm used to the trees and I'm actually used to the darkness for the most part, but this is next level darkness that Terrace has never seen before. The trees, the fact that they're decrepit and decaying is already kind of saddening, but this is just a different kind of reality, and now he's starting to regret decisions.
How
Yeah,
you look
it's
fretful.
it's just got a really weird vibe.
You jumped in head first into the ocean. What did you expect?
Well, you all stand here. The crackling sound of the portal sounds from behind you. There's the sounds of wind, but there's no sounds of animal life. There's no crickets. Beyond the rush of wind,
Boom,
almost
stop
like
fighting me.
what's
I'm
that?
not doing it.
Almost
Press
like
on.
a heavy breathing, almost like this plane was breathing at you. Yes, surrounds you. What do you all want to do?
Let's explore.
I'm gonna coil up one of the biggest dead trees in the area and kind of have a look around.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and defy danger. Danger being that you either don't pick the right tree and it crumbles under your weight, or you don't get to the top and you fall off and bad things
Strength.
happen. So that can be whatever strength, dexterity, whatever you're using to get up this and make form.
I'm actually gonna pick the tree very carefully with my wisdom.
No.
Okay. As you start kind of heading out to these trees, you see that there's like a few really tall ones, but in order to get through them, there's a lot of like spiky bush type things that kind of lay in the path. So if you want to get there quickly, you can probably get through these bushes and take a little bit of cuts and bruising, or you can take some time, probably an extra half an hour or so, to try to find a path around them and to these taller trees in the distance.
I'm pretty sure my hide's thick enough to resist that.
Got half an hour to climb a tree.
Okay. Yeah, as you start coming through, they're scratching at you. A few of them kind of stick into your skin, and you take a 1d6 damage from these thorn bushes.
There you go.
As you get to the top of the tree, straight ahead of you, now that you're kind of over everything, you can see a large mountain range very far off in the distance. The peaks look very, very small, but you can see them. As you look over to your right, you see more of these cliffs. There's a lot of forest ranging out to this cliffside, and more of that dark, black, inky, oily, waterish type substance that again goes out as far as your eye can see. To the left, you can see that the forest kind of cuts off in an area before it reaches the mountains, and you see a little bit more of that inky, oily substance. There's just a speck of black kind of in the horizon, a little bit to your front left, and then directly to your left, you just see open plains of nothing. Just no trees, no signs of bushes, just emptiness for miles and miles away.
So a whole lot of nothing.
You feel like a little bit to your front right. If you look through the mist just long enough, you feel like you might see some kind of flag or tabard. Just a small speck of something that appears to be sturdy but not natural.
Oh, front right. Okay, I got my directions confused. This is what I wanted to do. These are the hills he sees. There we go.
Edward.
What say you, Snake?
Yeah. He.
I mean, he
I'm
can't say
assuming.
anything.
Did you tell them
Yeah.
all of that?
I mean, I would have to revert, so I'm gonna climb down out of the tree and then revert to Halfling and kind of explain which direction we need to start heading.
So I'm assuming that everybody else took the extra time while he was climbing up there and scouting to go around the bushes and all of that. So you see that there's a good 50 to 60 feet deep of these thorn bushes that stand between these few tall, completely not broken down trees, and then where you had left your portal. So again, as you guys are down on ground level, you look forward and there's nothing but, broken down trees pretty much surrounding you at this point.
Okay. I still have that rebel banner, don't I?
Tell me.
I do believe I do. I'm gonna find a big stick and tie the banner to it and stick it in the ground near the portal. So we
Okay.
can find our way back.
So you're not near the portal right now. You've moved a good 100 or so yards away from it.
Well, that's fine. No,
Well-
I'll just stick it right there. That way, somebody will be like, "Oh, there's a flag there," or whatever. But we'll know it's near the portal. And I asked Sirach what he saw as a snake. What did you see? My magnificent transforming friend.
Not sure exactly what it was, but there's something off to the west of us.
East? Right is east?
Yeah. Yeah.
directions are different in this.
I cannot tell you directions. I can tell you what you see.
I'm asking Faison.
I'm just gonna kind of point in that direction, not
The direction
specifically
to the
like.
right, which
So
is
where he's
Yeah.
facing, he points kind of up to his front right, and says there's a thing.
I guess I don't know. Northeast from where we're at, if we're looking at.
So where
I
you're
don't know
standing now,
directions.
you
Somebody
look
has a
straight
compass.
ahead and you see a ton of dead forest. If you turn around about a good couple miles away, you can see some cliffs and a large inky substance. To your right, you see more forest and kind of a glimpse of possibly more cliffs, and to the left you see nothing but dead forest.
Let's go to what he saw. I will follow the halfling snake person.
Right, is there anything specific you're looking for? Or are you simply
Any kinds of signs of civilization or a library?
Always
a
looking for books.
library? All right. So you all start heading through. It's not super difficult for you to travel through this forest. Occasionally you do come across another one of these thorn patches where you have to take a little bit more time and continue to wander through. At some points the forest definitely gets thicker. There's a few trees that still don't appear to be as dead. And you finally get to a point where you're kind of on top of a hill, and just when the you've been traveling for about probably 6 or so hours now, and you
Should
get to a
use
hill and a
this
good
tree
another
stump as our marker. Oh, I can't move the tree stump.
really.
I can put the tree stump, but I can't move it.
Let's see if I can do this. See.
Just a random tree stump there now. Damn it. Oh, it's gone. There we go. So we're here.
Yeah, you come to this hill, and every once in a while you can look out and see what appears to be like an old camp. There's some oriental style tents set around, and there's a few of these banners placed. And Kenshin, you notice it first, but there's a certain insignia on all of these banners. It kind of looks a little like this with an extra top.
Oh, you mean like this?
Doodles.
Yep.
And I actually clear my like sword doesn't come all the way out, but again 2 inches cleared.
Aha, adventure! And enemies! This day's getting greater.
I don't know about greater.
Child, what do you think? Are you glad you came along for the magic show?
No.
Too
You
bad!
showed me.
Well, you all have been traveling for quite a while today. You're feeling a little worn out. What do you all want to do?
How far are we from the camp?
You've probably got another 3, 4, probably another 2 miles ish. Like you can see it spotted on the distance, but it's gonna be another.
Let's camp on this hill here. Let's
Are you looking for any
It's a
kind
good
of
idea to be at the top of the hill. We should probably move down to the valley so the light can't be seen.
Well,
Just in
that's
case.
that's a thing, right? So in order for you guys to make camp, you need to be able to make a campfire. So how does that work? What are you guys doing for that?
I begin to look for dead wood or anything that's kind of thin and dry, and I use my bow. I take a stick. I twist the stick around the bowstring, and then I place a rock on top of the stick and start rubbing it on some other sticks and try to create charcoal.
Well,
And eventually fire.
once he's got the dead wood gathered up, as he's trying to make his fire jig, Kenshin basically walks over and pulls 2 small stones out of his stash and just smacks them together, drops them on the little pile of wood, and they just ignite.
Yeah, but something really strange happens when you do that. You come and you clap them together, but as you do that, the actual light that's ignited, you see glimpses of green. And then as the sparks disintegrate, it goes to nothing. The dead wood still lays in a pile, but it seems like the sparks may have disappeared.
How dead is the forest?
Oh, it's dead. It's
This
dead
is
and
a-
dry and
This is a not place.
Do not places burn fantastically when exploded? Do we know?
We have to have not fire to work here. But that would
Right.
kill you all.
Water! Not have a canteen? I pour a little water out from my canteen onto the ground. It's not working! You lied to me!
well, Kenshin, it sounds like you might know a little bit something about this this knot fire. You wanna spout some lore about it?
Sure, I'll spout some lore about it. That's wisdom.
Yes, sir. Actually, I think do you have the one that you can pick? Let me check. I think it might be actually intelligence for that one.
No.
Is it
But
this
I'm-
one?
Yeah, you can re-roll it. It is intelligence for that. I think Edward has. Okay. Yeah, you know just from the stories you've told, but that they light their fires with a thing called knot fire. But I mean, there were stories that were told when you're a kid, and it was like bedtime kind of scare you stories. So it's really hard to tell what's real and what's.
Well, I've seen not fire, but I don't know how to make it.
Yeah, you've been in knot fire,
Yeah.
and it seemed to do okay for you, but not for the other
Everyone else.
folks. So
Hmm.
you find you're kind of in a situation, Terrace. You see them trying to light this fire. You even try to, you're rubbing your stick back and forth, and you see a few sparks fly off, and as they do, almost like they're small little portals themselves, you see glimpses of green and life, and then as they fade away back into this gray dark nothing.
I immediately stop and try to just think about what I just saw. I'm already extremely confused about what's going on here, but I'm sorry, I don't see magic every day, so of course I'd be surprised by green fire.
Magic!
Well, it's not the fire going green. As the sparks go off, you can look like you can glimpse through them, and you see what looks like green grass.
Picture basically like a lens that you're seeing through
Just
to
but very small
what
sparks.
it used to be.
Yeah.
So I continue to try to create this fire and try to create more sparks to try to see more. I'm interested to see this grass that I'm familiar with now.
As you continue to do more and more sparks, you can see more and more grass, but every time the spark dies out, the grass fades back into this gray dead decay.
I'm just gonna. While they're all working on making fire, I'm just gonna light my staff up with my light cantrip.
Okay, go ahead and roll that for me.
Give me the light. Let there be light.
As you light your staff like a beacon, you immediately have this large open window to the regular world. You see you're standing in the middle of the forest, and you recognize the hill you're on is the hill near the logging camp.
I am a god. I have teleportation powers.
Well, you can see it. You can.
No, we're on the not plane. Daft idiot.
Start your fire here, then.
Sirach, you're seeing all this craziness. The wizard now has this beacon, like he's shining a flashlight in the darkness, but the light is actually showing the real world, as it were. You recognize some trees. You see a few trees with the knotmen marking on them. You're like, I've been here before. Like, this looks familiar, but it's out of reach. Like it's just being shown away from you. Wherever the light appears to hit the edge is where this window to the other side is appearing. What are you doing in your snaky snake form?
Well, since he kind of just gave away our position, or is it just focused towards the ground?
Oh, there's no like you don't see a definition of light other than sunlight on the other side of this window. You can see it's daytime on the other side of this window to the real world. But where you are now, you don't see yourselves lighting up any further. It's like you're standing on one of those two-way mirrors. You can see outside, but no lights coming in to see you.
Edward begins drawing his name with his staff.
Yeah, the smoke kind of comes and fills in slowly, so it's like one of those slow paint programs. You can see it kind of, leave Edward and quickly fill in with smoke and fog as the light dissipates from the area.
It's all your fault, Edward. I blame you.
You all start to feel your stomachs kind of starting to grumble a little bit.
I'm gonna shine my light on the twigs and whatnot.
Yeah, you point it straight to the ground, and you just see grass and like there's a little berry bush.
He's got his pile of twigs that he made.
Yeah, yeah. You point it down at the pile of twigs, and you don't see any twigs anymore. You see grass and nice green ground.
Light an actual fire there. Maybe it will transfer. We don't know.
Attention, the wizard is now pointing his staff towards the ground, and you can see that where the light should be, there now is this window to reality. So there's, green, and it's very strange because it appears to be sunlight coming down on this place, but there's no sunlight coming from any of you. The light is coming from the area you're looking at.
Well, all I can say is, brought us to a damned place, Edward. And we either need to figure out how to restore this area to being inaccessible to the Knotmen, or we need to return through portal, because we will not accomplish anything right here.
We need more light. I must light the beacons. Edward's mumbling to himself.
Terrace, the wizard appears to have gone mad with just the quest for knowledge, and he shines this light down on your twigs, and the twigs disappear, like they're just not there. And as he moves away, the twigs kind of reappear, and then he moves the light back, and they disappear. And now he's talking about beacons that he must light. What do you want to do?
I look at the spots where his staff is near the ground and where the grass is kind of just appearing and disappearing. And I try to go and touch the grass, try to see if it's actually real, or if I'm imagining it and there's still sticks right where they should be.
As you reach your hand into this light, you feel warmth and sun, and the wet, dewy feeling of grass reaches your hand.
I I pull my head back and try to check if that dew is still on my hand.
As you head back into the fog, the smoke and fog almost seems to suck the moisture right from it.
So, Mr. Kenshin, was it?
Yes.
What exactly do you know about this place?
Well, not a lot. I mean, the other part we know more about. We killed some rebels there and fought a knot man. This is probably how they managed to get this far north without... this explains things. Must be a way to pierce this veil. Edward, you're the wizard here. Think of something.
Yes. Let me. Hold on, I'm looking for the proper page. Where is the page? I'm leafing through books. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one again. That's the one I want. Bug in my face. Wisdom.
Okay, wait. Pause. You can't roll before you say what you're doing.
Oh, I was discerning reality. Sorry.
No, there's no. You can't.
I'll roll again.
No, tell me what you're. You can keep that roll, but just so we can revert back to how we play this game, we say what we're doing in character first, then I tell you what to roll, and then you roll it. So what are you actually doing, that crazy wizard?
God, if I know. He said figure it out, so I'm trying to figure out.
How?
something about
What are
this
you
place.
doing to figure it out?
I'm gonna see if I can figure out a way to make the light bigger from my
And how? What are you doing to do that? Like, what are you physically doing to figure this out?
staff. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, what are your 3 questions then?
Who's in control? What's not what it appears to be, and what should I be on the lookout for?
Okay. Well, who's in control here? From the camp you see down there, and you have to mind the choo-choo for one moment. Thomas is in charge here.
Sure.
Almost done. No. Thank you, Thomas. We're doing things. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, the knot men are definitely in charge here. What here is not what it appears to be. There's nothing hidden that you can see. Where you stand is a dead forest, and what you can see through where your light is shining is the real world. There's so that's magic, but there's no hidden magic here. And what you should be on the lookout for, I guess that depends on like what is your intention, Edward? What are you trying to do?
I want to bring light to the darkness.
Then you would recognize you need to literally do that. You would need a very, 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 very. You would need a sun from the real world to somehow light up this plane.
I'm brilliant! I start trying to shine the light up into the sky to find the sun and the other plane.
You shine up into the sky, but the same, you're able to see through, but no light is shining into this place. There's that, like I said, the two-way mirror effect where you're able to see outside, but nothing's coming back in directly.
Need to set the sky on fire.
Why do I feel that that is a horrible idea?
Mostly because it is.
Why is it?
Sky is what fills our lungs.
The trees were supposed to do that, but they're dead. We're not dead, so we'll be okay.
I don't inhale wood.
You inhale oxygen made by trees, which are wood.
You're a madman, Edward.
Yes! Yes, I am!
Tarak, you're the one with the extreme connection to nature. Why don't you think of something, possibly, maybe?
I'm stumped.
But
Where did those drums come from? What magic is this?
They're the drums of his mouth. Mouth drums.
The only thing that I can discern is to make our way to the camp and get some fire there.
You call the nature god.
Well, you can tell with how hungry you guys are now, you will need to make camp before you travel any further. If you all wish to make camp without food, that is fine. You won't heal any HP, and you will take a debility, random 1d6 to determine which one it is. Or you will need to find a way to cook food to complete making camp.
He stuck his hand through the hole where the light was, right?
Oh, he did. And it was, he felt sunlight and the water dew of the grass.
Then why can't we cook food on the other side and bring it through and eat it?
He asks into the sky questioningly.
Yes. And I point my staff at the ground. Somebody make a fire there and cook the food.
Okay. As we do that, let's take a quick 5-minute break. It sounds like there's some shenanigans going on behind me, so I'm gonna go resolve that. So we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break right before we make camp. You're gonna figure out how you're gonna light this fire, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Don't light the sky on fire while I'm away.